So, are you ready for the 6 Stages Framework 7-week reflection guide? To help you along, I'm doing this video to help you understand what the 6 Stages Framework is and how you can use it. So, my name is Dr. Shungu M'gadzah, and I'm the author of Understanding and Dealing with Everyday Racism, which really focuses on looking at biases, inequity in the area of racism and other areas of bias. So the 6 Stages Framework is a model which can be applied to pretty much any area. So let's get started. So my book, you can find that it's available on Amazon, and there's the QR code. So introducing the 6 Stages Framework, a roadmap for reflection, growth, and systemic change. So what is the 6 Stages Framework? Essentially, it's a psychological and developmental model. It's created to help individuals and organizations reflect on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging. The premise of the 6 Stages Framework is that in order for us to make any real inroads into diversity, equity, and inclusion, we really have to start with ourselves. So we have to start by looking at biases and strengths. And the 6 Stages Framework guides users through the 6 stages from unawareness to leading and modeling. It's a non-judgmental, compassionate approach to systemic transformation. And it can be used by anyone. It's not just for white people, it's for everyone to explore their biases and to think about how they can move forward in their growth. So why does it matter? Well, you just have to look around at what's happening around the world, right? At the moment. It's important that we uncover our unconscious bias, or maybe sometimes not so unconscious bias, and that we are able to look at how that impacts those around us, those who are different from us. So the 6 Stages Framework, reflective guide, is really a toolkit for helping encourage daily, intentional reflection and learning. It's designed to support both personal transformation and institutional change. And I've adapted it to not only focus on issues of race, but also gender, ability, and other dimensions and identities. So what is the 6 stages? What are the stages? So here are the stages at a glance. They basically go, take place on the positive axis and also on the negative axis. And what you can see here is the positive axis. They go from unaware to aware but engaged, interested and seeking, acting and engaging, advocating and disrupting, and leading and modeling. These are the revised stages of the 6 Stages Framework. And on this diagram, you can see they're represented in this kind of growth mindset model, which really shows how people can move from kind of a minimal understanding of diversity, equity, and inclusion and understanding differences to really kind of growing in their understanding of those issues. So if we look at this in more detail, you can go very much from stage plus one, which is kind of a minimal understanding, stage plus 2, where you're becoming more aware of issues of race and issues of difference, and then stage plus 3, where you're improving and understanding how bias impacts not only yourself but those around us. So you can download these diagrams either from the PowerPoint or from my website, which is 6stagesframework.com. And on this slide, you can see the positive axis, alongside the negative axis. And both on both axes, you can go from +1 to +6 on the positive axis, and then on the negative axis, that goes from -1 to -6. It's designed, currently it looks like a rigid model, but really you can be at any stage, and it's very fluid in nature. So some people will often say, well, actually, when I'm at work, I'm on this stage, but when I'm at home or if I'm in the pub with my friends, I'm on this stage. So, have a look at it. Work out where you are in your journey in terms of understanding and dealing with differences and dealing with bias. So, how is the 6 stages framework is being used currently? So we're currently working in schools to support inclusive education and really embedding the 6 stages framework into the curriculum. We're also working with organizations looking at DEI strategy and leadership training, but also offering coaching, either for supervision or actually looking at performance management. So coaching and personal development work is a key use of the 6 stages framework, and it's also being used in reflective journals and diversity assessments. And the key purpose is very much about identifying where we are as individuals in our understanding of bias, so getting that baseline measure and then doing some work and seeing what progress we can make in our development and in our understanding. And these toolkits can be used not only by individuals, but they can also be used by organizations. So the reflective guide, which I'm going to be starting next week, and I did a video yesterday where I was introducing it. The guide is really designed to help you reflect on where you are in your journey. It provides a toolkit for daily reflection, for noticing, what you're seeing around you, right? So it starts at step 0, which is locating yourself on the 6 stages framework. Step 1 is noticing the unseen, so really kind of getting a sense of, your environment and the people you're engaging with. Step 2 is turning awareness into intention. Step 3 is seeking with curiosity. Step 4 is acting with purpose. Step 5, disrupting and advocating. And step 6, leading through living. So you can identify where you are, you can reflect on a daily basis, and I'll be guiding you with further videos to help your reflections. And I'll also be offering different strategies to help you, kind of grow in your understanding and consolidate your learning. So what do you need to do, in order to get ready for this guided reflection? Well, the first step is downloading the reflective journal. You can find that on my website, www.6stagesframework.com. You can access the reflective journal as a free member on my website, but you do need to sign up in order to do that. And as I said, the starting point is identifying where you are. So as you're preparing for the first session next week, have a look at the 6 stages framework. Work out where you are. Are you on stage 1? Are you on stage 2? And, what would the people around you say about where they think you are? So start using the reflective steps to grow and lead through, throughout, with inclusion. So, as I said, download the reflective journal, identify your current stage, and get ready to start using the reflective steps. I'm so excited about this because I really feel that if we can join together and start having these conversations and start reflecting on where we are, we can support each other in moving forward in our understanding, but also we can support each other not only, locally or nationally, but also internationally, right? You just have to look at what's happening around the world at the moment. A lot of the problems we're faced with and the problems we're seeing through, different countries, fighting against each other, a lot of that starts with an intolerance of difference. It starts with biases. So if we can each do some work in just exploring our biases, but also then exploring the biases around us, that is a really important step. So join me for the next video, and then next week we'll be starting on the reflective guide.